Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium as the interleague weekend wraps up, and the Royals wind down a 5-game homestand, trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals took Game 2 last night, 7-3, and finally had some breathing room during a home game.
Oh, it's amazing what run support will do for a starting pitcher. And the #1 starting pitcher, Bruce Jones, he looked great. He was all over it. He was chomping that ball with confidence. He was mixing his pitches, showing them different arm angles, and he tipped his hat to the crowd. But you can't win unless you get some support. Billy Butler, go ahead and drive the bus. It was a solo shot that warmed up Moose Moustakas. He was good, too, as he pulled one in the bleachers and gave a fan a souvenir. High fives all around. It looked really good yesterday.
Tough start to the homestand. The Royals lost the first 3, but a win yesterday, a win today, and the Royals can take the series from Arizona. Back to the ballpark right after this. The best deals on new Fords are at thoroughbredford.com. By the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealer, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. When we come back, Joe Goldberg will tell you about Nate Adcock's wild week leading up to today's start.
Nate Adcock Wednesday night pitching the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th innings. And then because of all that use, sent back to AAA for a fresh pitcher. I'm Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. Nate Adcock is now back at Kauffman Stadium. What a week it's been. Sent down to the minors when Greg Holland was activated last weekend from the disabled list. Immediately called back because of the injury to Danny Duffy. Then sent down after the Baltimore game. And now Everett Tiefert on the DL with an abdominal injury. So does Adcock, returning to the Royals and making the start here this afternoon against Arizona. Ryan Lefebvre and Rex Hudler have the first pitch coming up next on Fox Sports Kansas City.
Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. And a pleasant day at the ballpark, a mixture of sun and clouds as the Royals and Diamondbacks wrap up a 3-game series. Gerardo Parra will lead off. He was the leadoff hitter in Game 1. Ryan Roberts will bat second, so he moves up in the order. And the former Royal, Willie Bloomquist, who's hot, will be on the bench. John McDonald will be the shortstop. They'll face Nate Adcock, and here's the Kia report.
All right, get ahead. No question. Everything works off of the fastball. Throw the secondary pitches for strikes. That's his changeup and curve. He's got good movement on those pitches. Less is more. Okay, show me. It's a show me start in the show me state for Nate. Hopefully he's great.
And might pitch 8.
If he goes 8, that would certainly be great. I don't know. I hope he can. But he's got to be able to get ahead, pitch to contact. He's got a good heavy two-seam sinker. And he's got a 4-seam fastball. He can reach, 94. But he's better around 91, 92 with that movement.
He last pitched on Wednesday, and that was out of the bullpen. That was the 15-inning game. Pitched the 11th through the 15th inning. Ended up taking the loss, allowing 1 run, and that was the Adam Jones home run in the 15th. Otherwise, gave up just 1 run, 3 hits, and now he's back on 3 days rest. But that bottom line there is important. 3 days rest. He only threw 52 pitches on Wednesday.
Hell, if he can get some early countouts and get a little run support, he'll gain some confidence, and hopefully he can eat up a few innings. Parra, he's a guy, typical leadoff hitter, going to milk you. 3-1 count.
Hit well to center. Dyson is on it. That ball goes into a crosswind. 1 out. Royals defensively today presented by Ford.
Okay, you just saw Dyson. Gordon out there in left field. Him and Frenchie want to throw somebody out in the worst way. Johnny Giovatello's out there. All right, the corners. Moustakas and Hosmer. Ooh, are they good? Pena. He's going to do the signal calling. We'll see what color his fingernails are today for Nate.
And Gerard Dyson, as you say, Francoeur and Gordon want to throw out a runner badly today. Gerard Dyson did throw out a runner last night, part of a double play for his 3rd career assist, and now he's checking out the sun in the clouds as the sun is ducking in and out of the clouds today.
Now, the fly ball last night, it was medium depth, okay, but he backs up on it, okay? He has some momentum coming in. He gathers himself in a one-hop throw to the third base side with a one-hop. It was beautiful. Okay, that brought the crowd alive, and that really helped gain some momentum there. That's a big play. Big lift.
Royals had 3 double plays last night, and a couple of those with Bruce Chen on the mound. And Bruce Chen dealt with at least 2 base runners in each of the first 4 innings, but Arizona failed to score. They went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position with Bruce Chen on the hill.
Well, that was just some masterful pitching from Bruce. Good pitchers have a way of executing their pitches when they're in trouble, and he did that. Had he not, it would have been a different outcome. But the Diamondbacks, they were pressing. This is a team that's gotten off to a slow start. They need to do something. Good pitch.
Roberts down on strikes. 2 down. 72 degrees. We started on time at 1:10. Time and temp brought to you by the parking spot at KCA. It's windy again today, but different from the first 2 games of the series with the wind blowing out of the south, and that was helping everything to center field and to left. Now it's out of the northwest, so a complete shift, and now balls in the air to center field, and right field should get some help.
Upton's starting to come around. Not just getting base hits, but he's walking more. He's seeing the ball. He's starting to get into his groove a little bit. When you walk more, you see more pitches. Get more comfortable.
And that groove started on Thursday in Denver when he hit a 2-run home run in the 9th inning to help the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies. And then in game 1 against the Royals had 2 hits. 2-1.
He's got good opposite field power. He's been waiting, like I mentioned. He's waiting until the ball gets a little bit deeper in the strike zone. And he's a tremendous talent.
Had a 2020 season last year, at least 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, so a good mixture of power and speed. And he thought that was ball 4, but Vic Carapazza, the home plate umpire, said that it hit the corner.
So we'll see if Nate drops that breaking ball on him here. Now, Pena helped him get that. Look at that. He just frames that beautifully out there. Holds it for the umpire to see. Strikeout pitch is his big slurvy curve.
On the corner again. So an impressive first inning for Nate Adcock. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts.
He's got to go.
for the Diamondbacks against Nate Adcock, and now the Royals lineup today has Johnny Giavotella leading off. He becomes the 7th Royal to bat leadoff this year, and a completely different looking top of the order. Alcides Escobar will bat 2nd, and Mike Moustakas, for the first time this year, will bat 3rd. And for the first time, the Royals will take a look at 25-year-old left-hander Wade Miley.
All right, they need to try to beat another lefty. They're just 2-7 against left-handed starters this year. Miley, he's a pretty good pitcher. He's been dealing at a 233 clip as the opponents are hitting off of him. You see that. But he's got a good cutter, hard little fastball at 93. He'll sink it. Big curve and change-ups to righties. He's a pitch-to-contact guy. You like to hear that if you're an offensive player and you're facing the pitcher, because you know he's going to be around the plate. He's going to give you something to hit, try to find a hole.
1-1 on Giavotella, 2 hits in this series and a walk. He has hit in 4 straight. And with the different look lineup, Ned Yost said that he's just trying to go with what he believes is his hottest hitters, most productive hitters of the moment in front of Billy Butler.
Get him on for Billy. And why not? A left-hander's throwing, you get some righties, stack it with some guys that can swing the bat like Gio and Escobar. I saw Giavotella in the parking lot this morning at the apartments that we're staying at, and I said, Gio, there's a lefty on the mound today, man. How you feeling? Do you like your chances? And he looked at me and he said, Hud, it's time to seize the moment. Like that. Play with the sense of urgency. Go up there and battle. See as many pitches as you can. Now, Charles Nagy, Miley's pitching coach, says that he's a little bit better at 92. We saw a 94 there. That takes a little bit of the movement away. He's got some good natural movement to his ball. Going to sink it and cut it into righties.
Giavotella goes the other way with a curveball. Upton makes the play in right field. So 1 out, and now the rest of the Diamondbacks defensively, brought to you by Ford.
Okay, let's see what they got out there. Can they go get them? Can they play that wind that's going to the right field? We'll see what they got. McDonald and Aaron Hill, they were out early taking ground balls way early before anybody got on the field today. Working the combination. Alan Trammell, Matty Williams, great infielders in their day, was out there hitting those guys ground balls at 10 o'clock this morning. Working on their craft, just like this guy does.
And he's been productive in the field as he normally is, and at the plate. Alcides Escobar is hitting .304. He's hit in 4 straight games, and in this series he has batted leadoff, he has batted 9th, and he has batted 2nd. Now he's down on 3 pitches, and Miley strikes out his first.
I said he comes at you, he pitches to contact, and you got to be ready to swing when you're up there. No question. He came right after him, right in the middle of the plate. That's what you do, especially first inning. You stay out of any trouble, you go after the hitters. Make them put the ball in play.
That's his 10th pitch, and 8 have been strikes. Mike Moustakas hit his 6th home run last night. He has 17 RBIs, and he's batting just a couple of points below 300, so Ned Yost will have him bat 3rd today. And Miley working very quickly, and now Moustakas trying to slow him down.
Moose is hitting with the sunglasses on too. That helps.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Those glasses came in around 1990, and I remember we were passing them around. I'm going, what are these? Come on, is some kind of styling contest out here? No. When I put them on in Florida in that sun, I went, oh, my eyes went. It just took the squinting right away. I was like, oh man, what a difference.
Toward the right field corner, Upton will cut it off, and Moustakas will hold with a long single, so he's at first base with 2 outs, and he'll add to his .298 batting average.
Yeah, and there's no need to push the envelope right now. You know, he's just getting well from that hamstring. So, you know, I bet if he's healthy, he might attempt that. With 2 outs, it's not a bad try to get to second. But he says, whoa, boy, let me just hold off here. Take it easy, because like he said to me, and I told him, that hamstring's a lion muscle. It tells you it's good, but then all of a sudden it grabs you. Smart move by staying.
Strike to Billy Butler as we look at our league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. And Billy Butler now is 4th in the league in RBIs. Really, he's 3rd because Josh Hamilton's in his own category with 46 already. And this is the Royals' 40th game of the year. So they've reached the 1/4 mark of the season. And if you do the math, Billy Butler is on pace to have over 120 RBIs. Goes down and gets it, lines it to center, and Parra makes a Gold Glove play, and he won a Gold Glove last year. So Butler is out, and the Royals are scoreless in the first.
Woo, that was nice.
Or it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Nate Adcock allowed a line out to center field to begin the game. Gerardo Parra on a 3-1 pitch at a liner to Dyson, but then Adcock came back and struck out Roberts and Upton, only faced 3. Here's Diamondbacks catcher Miguel Montero.
He was guessing first pitch fastball, and he got it. He just missed it.
Did miss on Friday night. Diamondbacks taking game 1 6-4. Montero drove in 3 of the 6 runs with a couple of RBI doubles.
He's got him swinging 0-2. Maybe he buries one curveball a little bit deep. Maybe he bounces one, see, or maybe he tries a high fastball with a 4-seamer. See what Pena calls.
Tried to go through the back door. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There was a day in this game, 0-2. Hitters were on their heels because they knew that ball was going to come up around their neck or inside around their chest, knock them off the plate. With the pitch counts the way they count them nowadays and everything, pitchers don't want to waste their pitches. But in the day when they didn't have a pitch count, nobody cared. That pitcher wanted the outside part of the plate. You can't have both, so he'd knock you off on the inside. Set up his outside pitch like Pena's sitting right there.
1-2 pitch is stroked into right center. And Montero will hold with a leadoff single. The Fan of the Game sweepstakes is going on now at Olathe Fiat, and you can win a new Fiat 500 Pop. Finalists for the grand prize drawing will be announced here on Fox Sports Kansas City. And in July, one fan will win the Fiat 500 Pop. Look for rules and enter now at Olathe Fiat. Chris Young is at the plate. He's the designated hitter again. He is the Diamondbacks' regular center fielder. He came back from the disabled list. He was gone for a month, crashing into the wall, making a great catch in center and wrecking his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder, so he was out. Returned to the Diamondbacks on Friday as the DH, back in center field last night, and is the designated hitter today.
He had a couple throwing opportunities in last night's game too, and he wasn't really interested in trying to air it out of that sore shoulder. So he's back in the DH spot. They need this guy to win. He's a really good all-around player, good athlete, swings a pretty good bat,
and was one of the best hitters in the National League when he went down. He hit .410 in his first 11 games with 13 RBIs. Down in the count here, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's that big breaking ball. A lot of depth to it. You know, guys are going to get hurt. It's just a part of the game. You got to learn how to get over it and heal and come back. But when you play hard, sometimes things happen. It happened to Young.
Again with the breaking ball, and Nate Adcock has 3 strikeouts.
Okay, let's see Nate doubling up with a big curve. Good location. Starts at the belt, ends up in the dirt. Fox Tracks will show you it was well in front of the plate, but that's a purpose pitch. You want him to swing out of the strike zone. Good job.
Now, we don't see a lot of Chris Young, but that looked like a guy who was swinging with a body part that was hurt. I mean, that was a very tentative swing, so can't help but wonder if that shoulder isn't still bothering him. As you said, he didn't look very interested in throwing from the outfield last night, and now Kirk Gibson has him back in there as the DH.
Okay, well let's show you what happened to him. Our guys in the truck, they found it. Look at this. Just show him as he goes hard into the wall. Ooh, man. Yeah, that's why. That's why he needed a little time to recover as he's coming down on the leap. The gravity was pulling him down right into that wall, landed on his shoulder, and whew, he's lucky his season's not over after that.
And the padded walls are good up until a certain speed. I mean, if you're kind of jogging into it or not quite running as hard as you can, the padded wall helps. But when you go in full speed, I mean, you go right through the padding to the brick or the concrete or whatever is behind the padding.
How about the players in the 80s and early 90s? There wasn't any padding out there. They just had the walls. Some of them were plywood. They didn't have any padding on there. But, you know, once they started paying these athletes the big money, they said, you know, we need to take care of them out there.
Our director, Steve Kurtenbach, reminds me of a game when Jermaine Dye was playing for the Royals. And remember the old baggie in the Metrodome? Looked like a nice, forgiving, innocent wall to crash into, but it was supported by steel posts. And Jermaine Dye went into that one time full speed. Giavotella goes to the hole. He'll take care of Kubel. And moving up to second base is Miguel Montero. Jermaine was out of the lineup for a while.
Yeah, he was
hitting that.
He was running, thinking he would land in the middle of that baggie.
Well, that's the next thing I was thinking of. Is it's at least, you know, when you've got a wall, you can see it coming. But when you think you're going into a nice, soft, cushion-like wall, and next thing you know, you're going into a steel pole, you don't have a chance to brace yourself.
Put you out.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. And Adcock has really good command of his curveball today. Strike one. Goldschmidt has 3 hits in this series, batting .241, still only 2 home runs after hitting 73 in the minor leagues and the big leagues in 2010 and 2011 combined.
Diamondbacks are having a little bit of difficulty with runners in scoring position, just hitting .244 overall as a team, and Goldschmidt hitting .237. Now, they had plenty of opportunities early in that game last night, but you got to credit Bruce Chin for executing great pitches in that situation.
Excellent changeup, and it's 1-2. You really have to break down for the Diamondbacks last night. Runners in scoring position all game and runners in scoring position against Bruce Chen, because the Diamondbacks last night were 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position, which is not a horrible number. But against Bruce Chen, they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Very late swing to stay alive.
That was an emergency hack. That had plenty of plate there on the inside. He might have been called out, so he's looking for something better he can handle. But it's pretty impressive early to see Nate's movement on his pitches. That changeup that he threw 2 pitches before that had great movement in to the back leg of the righty. That's good movement that way. He's got a hammer that moves north and south, a little bit west. It's the late movement that gets the outs. And Ned Yost talked about it a little bit before the game, how he's got really good life to his fastball. He's got some natural sink, a little bit of movement. And that's what they use to get these guys out. Stay out of the middle. Don't give him anything too good. Heading to count. Perfect.
On the ground to Escobar, who gets a nice big hop. That's the inning. Diamondbacks get a leadoff single, but they're scoreless in the second. Socializer at Wayside Waifs, an independent humane society and animal welfare organization whose purpose is to place adoptable companion animals in responsible homes. Steve is a dedicated volunteer who helps to give the Wayside dog residents much needed attention, and he's the right guy to be in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at today's game. It is Bark at the Park. Jeff Francoeur takes a strike from Wade Miley, and Miley was a strike machine in the first. 16 pitches, 13 strikes.
So the dogs get to hang out in the crowd today?
In the outfield. There's a base hit to center field. Francoeur telling Joel Goldberg just the other day, and Joel reporting to us, that he really feels like he's close. Hasn't quite had a hot streak that he's been hoping for, but feels like he's getting closer every day.
I saw him in the batting cage early, all by himself, turning on the pitching machine. Kept his hands inside there. He fought that inside pitch off. That's a good stroke. He was hitting all by himself in the cage. I opened up the door and I said, Frenchie, you got the black on. Go ahead. It's the eye black he's wearing under his eyes. When a player puts that on before he goes out on the field, it tells him he's in a big league game.
Kind of like war paint, huh?
It's beautiful. Now, there's different kinds. There's the kind that you tape on, too. There's a little adhesive. You know, you peel them on, put them on. To me, that's cheap. Just different.
It's like a clip-on tie.
Exactly. And then they have the kind that you can light a cork and you can put it on. That's the way they did it in the old days. Light a cork, blow it out, and then it makes that eye black.
Well, here's another bat the Royals need to get going. Alex Gordon at 237. 1 hit, 1 RBI in this series. Ed Yost brought up a good point, that he believes that right now the biggest issue that Francoeur and Gordon have is that they're just not timing the fastball like they normally do. And that's probably a result of teams pitching around them and pitching them carefully at the beginning of the year and throwing them so many breaking balls and off-speed pitches. Those were the two hitters that teams were being most careful with, and so while they've tried to adjust to the off-speed or the secondary pitches, they don't have their normal timing with the fastball.
Gordon's 255 against lefties, which is really not a bad mark. He's got 1 homer against the lefty.
Hit slowly to Goldschmidt. He'll go to first base, and Francoeur moves up to second, 1 out.
But I think it's a good move to move your left-handed bats down in the order against the lefty. Hosmer, he's hitting a .122. No homers against lefties. Average is starting to creep a little. He got a good base hit last night, hit another one right on the screws of the second baseman. So, you know, as we've been saying, it might sound like a broken record. He's coming. It's going to happen. Got to be patient.
And a lot of that's just going to depend on him, because Dayton Moore, Ned Yost, Kevin Seitzer all believe that he's going to break out of this and start turning those line drives into hits, as long as he stays with his approach, doesn't try harder because he's not getting hits. But after a while, it's got to be tough to dig in this late in the season and look up and see 176 and not think you have to do something differently.
It grows on you. And, you know, you're only human. But when you're a young player, you press a little more. Older players have been through that before. And they know how to get out of it. And that's to work your way, hit your way out of it. Practice and keep on and making some adjustments. And some of the adjustments Seitzer's been making with him is getting a little bit of movement in his bat. Keep his front side closed a little bit more. It was open for a while. Now see, they're talking about him right here.
Well, in this at bat here, and maybe this is a sign of good things to come, Eric laid off some borderline pitches. If there's one thing that he might be to blame, I'm talking about Hosmer, is that there have been a few at bats where, let's say the count is 1-1. And he swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. Well, now it's 1-2, and he has to be defensive, as opposed to it could be 2 balls and 1 strike. And in this last at bat, it looked like Miley was really testing the edges to see if he would swing at a pitch out of the zone, and he didn't.
That's how the pitchers adjust. They say, look, if he's going to keep swinging out of the strike zone, why would I throw him one down the middle? So they're testing him, but that's a good walk right there for him, especially his first time up today.
Brian Pena had 3 hits last night. So he's hitting at 265, and there's a borderline call that goes the Diamondbacks' way, and Brian Pena snaps his head back because he knows what the strike zone is today. Wants to make sure that he gets that call when Nate Adcock is on the mound. 1-1.
Miley has a crossfire arm angle. And what I mean by that, he kind of throws across his body. His stride foot lands out in front, and then here comes his arm angle. And he's a lot like a left-handed Jared Weaver. Weaver throws very similar for the Angels. And it's evident with a pretty good batting average against him from right-handers, only 236. He's given up 2 home runs this year. That's 1 to a righty and 1 to a lefty. But 233 overall, and look at that guy. He got him as a souvenir. Saying, all right, I'm in the game now.
Two and two.
Cross-firing has some deception, but when you're a right-handed batter, it's not as bad as if you're a lefty. So you can see the ball pretty good. Pena's used to be the right-handed side of the plate was his better side.
To right field, and Upton backs up. Francoeur will tag. Hosmer will go back to first base. Don't forget, parents, to sign your kids up for Slugger's Blue Crew, presented by U.S. Toy. The kids will be part of the fun all year long. Members receive a batting practice jersey, a backpack, a water bottle, ticket vouchers, front of the line access for every Sunday fun run, and much more. Membership is just $20, and you can join right now at Royals.com/Blue Crew. First and third, 2 outs, and Gerard Dyson, who bats 9th today. Ed Yost against the left-hand pitcher, going with Johnny Giavotella leading off. Vic Carapazza called that pitch a strike, but all of the umpires behind home plate thought it was a little high. And a slow roller to short. McDonald throws low, and Goldschmidt bails him out by picking it out of the dirt. And the Royals leave 2 on base in the second inning.
With Kirk Gibson this morning, and Kirk actually had a chance to visit with George Breton. George was telling me that his really good memory of Kirk Gibson was when they were teammates in 1991, and George was hit on the elbow, drilled by the Rangers. Everyone believed it was intentional. George had to go to the hospital. By the time he got back to the stadium and he was in there, Kirk Gibson came in and slammed a bat on the table. The reason? He was upset, and he told everyone that no one had retaliated. It was almost like Gibson had been hit, but he was mad that no one had defended George Brett. That is the intensity of Kirk Gibson. And Ryan, Rex and I visited with him on the pregame show. We'll share some of that with you later.
Good. Strike from Nate Adcock to Aaron Hill, and that's what you were talking about earlier, Rex, the way the game used to be played. Players picking up each other, teammates picking each other up. Terry Pendleton, who's a major league coach now. Remember, gosh, it's got to be 10, maybe 15 years. Remember, he was playing third base. I believe it was for Atlanta, and they were in Houston. And whoever was on the mound did not retaliate for one of his teammates getting hit. And remember, in the middle of the inning, he just walked off the field. Wow. Do you remember that? Middle of the inning, he just said, "Fine. Oh, you're not gonna take care of the hitters. I'm not gonna play third base for you."
Ooh, yeah. Yep, those things happen. You should be there behind the scenes in the clubhouse and dugouts. What happens?
Moustakas plays a tricky short hop. He made it look easy, and it's not easy. Aaron Hill is out, number 1.
That's because he works. He's got a great infield instructor, Eddie Rodriguez, who works with him. He comes in, you got to charge and pick up that short hop. If you wait back and take the high one, the big hop, it may be too late. So come and get it, make that throw off your right leg. See how he's getting that ball? He's transferring it right now, finding the seams, throws off the right leg, keep it stiff, stay on top, and you got yourself a potential Gold Glover right there.
Might get a bit of all-star recognition.
Ooh, boy, that would be nice.
Consideration.
Sure would be. The crowd would love that.
One ball, one strike to John McDonald, who is at shortstop today. Willie Bloomquist, the former Royal, started the first 2 games, and Bloomquist has multi-hit games in his last 4, but getting the afternoon off. Both Bloomquist and McDonald filling in for Stephen Drew, who's still recovering from a broken ankle last year. Little check swing to Moustakas, and another strike over to Hosmer. 2 up and 2 down.
Okay, pretty good third baseman right there. Matty Williams has skills. He won some gold. He had 3, actually he had 4 Gold Gloves. Look at Moustakas. See where he's got that ball? I love that super slow-mo camera for the young baseball players out there. They can see how to grab that ball and throw it. Put the fingers on the 4 seams, get a straight throw over there to first base. Your fingers end up on top of the seams, the ball runs up the line. The first baseman, he can't catch it as easily as the 4 seam.
And so how do you learn to do that? Every time you play catch.
When you first start playing catch that day to get loose is when you catch it, and when you go in there with your hand, you find the 4 seams. Tap and throw. Catch it again, and then it becomes a habit.
Three balls, no strikes to Gerardo Parra. He lined to center to begin the game.
Another thing that young people can do when you're passing the time, if you want to be a baseball player, stay away from the video games, because that's a waste of time, if you ask me. If you want to be a ball player, get a tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Catch it without your glove. Just use your bare hands. I used to go home and pass time. I had no idea I was going to be a big league player. Pass time by throwing that little tennis ball, and when a tennis ball is so soft and so light, if you stab at it, you can't catch it. So it develops soft hands.
Here's our Time Warner pitch speed comparison. Remember, you can get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. First walk allowed by Adcock. Parra has stolen 9 bases. The Diamondbacks have 33, which is the 3rd highest in the National League. Adcock struck out Roberts swinging at a curve in the first inning. Parra runs, and Pena couldn't find the seams on a pitch in the dirt, so Parra swipes his 10th.
Quick break. Little small peek back just to see if the hitter did anything. Or to throw it if you can't find a handle.
Two balls and no strikes on Roberts, and now Adcock has missed with 6 in a row, so Brian Pena will go out for a quick visit. Well, today is a family fun day Sunday. Every Sunday is a family fun day Sunday, so bring the kids to the game. They'll enjoy face painters, balloon artists, kids entertainment by Radio Disney, and much more. Royals.com/Sunday for more information and for tickets. And if you're wondering about the next Family Fun Day Sunday, that will be June 3rd with the Oakland A's in town. That's the Royals' next homestand. They'll be playing Oakland and Minnesota.
Okay, Nate, your 2 outs. Go ahead and get in there. See if you can get back in this count. Because you got Upton on deck. You don't really want to see him. He's got power potential. Roberts, he's got a little pop. He's got 2 homers this year. But he's not as dangerous as the guy on deck. So go after this guy with 2 outs.
And Roberts grounds it to Moustakas. So another ground ball out for Nate Adcock.
He just tied a major league record. Held by Alf.
Enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Johnny Giavotella is the 7th Royal to bat leadoff this year, facing Wade Miley. And we've been talking about his delivery, Wade Miley's delivery, and as you described it, Rex, he throws crossfire.
All right, and you can see where he's stepping. Okay, he steps over to the first base side.
But he's standing on the third base side of the rubber.
He is. So then what that hitter sees is he sees this type of action from his arm. It's coming across. You see where he's stepping right there. And it adds some deception. Steps one way to the first base side and then throws across his body this way.
And Giavotella is down on strikes. Miley has his second. And because of that angle, he is, as you pointed out earlier, he is tough on right-hand batters and uses that angle to get in on right-hand batters.
He does, and there's that little breaking ball. It's a teaser. It was meant to be down there, especially when you're ahead in the count. So really look for fastballs early off of Miley. Try to look early, first pitch. If he gives you something, go right back up the middle with it. He's getting ahead with that every time.
Well, Escobar has seen 4 pitches and 2 at-bats, all called strikes. And he took a called third strike with a fastball in the first.
Another thing, too, when the pitcher's dictating the tempo, as they all do, if he's working too fast, slow play him. Step out of the box. Don't let him get into a rhythm. That's how you disrupt his timing. You hit when you're ready to hit.
Toward right center, and Parra moves into position. 2 outs. Here's today's Sprint You Call It question. Which team will be best represented in the American League? Who will have the most players from a single team? Will it be the Red Sox, the Tigers, the Angels, the Yankees, or the Rangers? You have 5 options today. Text 432-432, keyword Royals, a space, and then A, B, C, D, or E.
Typically, the larger markets have more votes and more people. So you see more Yankees and Red Sox in there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see a lot of Rangers in there. As popular as that team's been the last 2 years. And there's some fans voting for, that's right, Moustakas, Escobar, possibly Broxton. Go ahead, fans, get your Royals in, which the time is now for the All-Star game here at the K.
And Moustakas pulls it to Goldschmidt. So Moustakas is 1 for 2, and the Royals are down quickly in the third. Remember, on Thursdays, you can come out and support Jeff Francoeur in the Frenchie Quarter. And for $21, you'll get a seat in right field, a limited edition Frenchie Quarter t-shirt, and Mardi Gras beads. And the next Frenchie Quarter Thursday is June 14th against the Milwaukee Brewers. Justin Upton bats with nobody on base, and a good comeback, as you pointed out, Rex, for Nate Adcock with 2 outs and nobody on. He walked Parra, and then he was 3-0 on Roberts with Upton on deck, but he was able to come back, Adcock was, and get Roberts on a ground ball. So Upton bats with nobody on.
Oh, you'd much rather see that any day.
Not that Nate has had any trouble with Justin Upton. Struck him out looking with a second consecutive fastball at the knees over the outside part of the plate. Justin Upton in 2005 was the first overall pick. And right behind him that year was Alex Gordon. Into right center field, so he had actually hit a pretty good pitch. That pitch was down and away, and Upton collects his 4th hit of the series. The Diamondbacks have the leadoff man on.
And as selective as he's been, he looks like a guy that walks, you know, up to 100 times a year. That's a good pitch, too. It's all over the plate, but it's down. He lifted it. He only walked 59 times last year, did Upton, in 592 at-bats. But he's evolving now. He's understanding, hey, look, I'm going to make these guys bring the ball up and in there to me. But he looks good in this series. He's patient. That's why you want him leading off.
And now he's running. Pena's throw is not in time. Upton has his 8th stolen base, and the Diamondbacks have swiped 2 today.
Hey, good jump. Good takeaway. Adcock, you know, he's probably a little over 1.3 seconds from the time he delivers it to the catcher's glove of Pena. And anything over 1.3 to 1.35, 4, you know, you can rip off a base. Everything's down to a timer now. Most first base coaches all have a watch, a stopwatch. They all get the guys' release times. Those are all well noted. Helps the guy have a higher percentage of stolen bases.
Montero goes the other way. And there's Alex to make the catch, 1 out. And if I could add to that, Rex, that Adcock being a sinker ball pitcher, those are good guys to run on, because Brian Pena, everything that he receives is moving down. So he's trying to stand up to throw, but he's got to be reaching down for a pitch that's going below the knees.
Yes, you may add to that, and you are correct, sir.
Now let's watch Chris Young and see the type of swings that he gets in this at-bat. He did not have good swings at all in the second against Adcock, and really didn't have very good swings last night. Better looking swing, hits it into the wind. Dyson gets behind it. Upton will hold at second, 2 outs.
Hey, you want the
So Nate Adcock with 3 2/3 scoreless innings. A year ago tomorrow would be the date which Nate Adcock made his first major league start. And it was an interleague game, just like this one here against the Cardinals here at Kauffman Stadium. And similar to this one, he moved into the rotation because of an injury. It was a fill-in start, and he pitched 5 shutout innings against the Cardinals. And now making his first start of the year today because of an injury to Everett Teaford. And Teaford was going to start because of an injury to Jonathan Sanchez.
It's the land of opportunity. You get your chance, you do, you shine, and you might get another chance. Okay, that's a good get me over curve for the first strike to Kubel. Kubel, he's got some pop from the left side. And with that wind blowing, he doesn't really need any wind, but with it blowing out to right field, make sure you stay out of his happy zone. Put it on the way on the outer half. Just keep it away from him. or down, make him lift it. With 2 outs here, don't make a mistake. If you can help it.
He has hit for a good average so far. He's hitting over 300. He was a .271 big league hitter before this year, but he's had as many as 28 home runs in a single season, and 3 times in his career he's had 20 or more home runs in a year.
Okay, somebody's got to get dirty on the infield. Knock it down.
1-2.
You know, in the minor leagues, you hear a lot of that with 2 outs and a runner out there in scoring position. You see the infield instructor or sometimes the manager going like this, you know, get dirty, make sure you lay out, knock it down, save the run from scoring. Up here, you don't get that as much, although you still need to be reminded sometimes.
And it's hit right to Giavitella. Nate Adcock has 4 scoreless innings. Butler, Francoeur, Gordon coming up. A pretty blue sky above Kauffman Stadium. Powder blue sky, powder blue jerseys. Billy Butler will lead off against Wade Miley. Hit his 2nd home run of the series last night to center field. That was against Ian Kennedy, a 2-run home run in the 3rd. And then Billy also homered in the 3rd inning on Friday night. That was against Joe Saunders. Had a good swing in the 1st inning, got a pitch down and away, and lined out to Parra in center field. It required a diving play by Parra toward right center. 3 balls, no strikes. Three and 1.
Okay, Billy, he's in a groove right now. Not surprised to see him not swing there because he felt like he wasn't going to challenge him, but he did. Now he's going to say, bring it in here again. Didn't throw the fastball. I think Miley knew he was sitting on one.
Leadoff man on. That's Miley's 2nd walk. And we will look at our AT&T trivia question for today. Which team had the most players in the 1973 All-Star game in Kansas City? Well, let's see. Who was good back then? That was, as Francoeur lines it to center field. He's 2 for 2, and both hits to center. Royals have runners at 1st and 2nd and nobody out.
Nice swing, squaring up the ball. Okay, that's a pitch that's down. Frenchie did the lifting. Stayed right on it. Good head position, good balance. Look at that head. That head was the last thing to come up. And, you know, if you talk to a golfer, and there are many great golfers out there, if that head doesn't stay down on that ball when you're golfing, you're not going to hit it where you want to. Same principle hitting a baseball, except the ball's moving. And people are screaming at you.
That was the what I think it was the Ben Hogan and the Ted Williams debate. Ted Williams said baseball's harder because our ball is moving. Yours is sitting there on a tee. And Ben Hogan said, yeah, but we have to play our foul balls.
That's good. That's a good line. So that cross-firing action, you can see the spot right there where he's landing Miley, okay? And he's throwing really like this to Gordon. So that's a definite distraction. Look at that. Messed him up. Uh-oh, he might get a knock.
Miley, a good athlete, and off his glove, but still able to run it down. It's an ugly out with a bat shattered and the barrel just lying on the grass, but somewhat of a productive out as both runners move up.
It might have been ugly, but it did the job. Okay, it's the little things. He didn't want to do it, but he did. Nice play by the athletic Miley, who was a center fielder, by the way, in high school, so he's got some running skills. But that got the runners over. Now you need a big hit like Bruce got last night. Maybe this is the guy to do it.
Shoots it the other way and foul. Well, Miley in the second inning wasn't about to give in to Eric Hosmer, but tested him to see if he would chase something just out of the strike zone. Hosmer would not, and he walked.
Well, it was good to see him swing at that first pitch. Knock those runs in.
Popped up. McDonald flips the shades down to take away the glare. Second and third, two down.
He pulled off of that one. So 2 pitches, he swung at both of them. He's a little bit over anxious trying to knock those runs in. See if Pena can find a lousy single out there somewhere.
Flied out to right in the second inning. He had 3 hits last night in the Royals' 7-3 win. On the ground to Hill at second base as momentum will take him toward first. Royals had 2 on, nobody out, but come up empty in the fourth. dealer. Buy steel. Find a helpful servicing steel dealer at steeldealers.com. And by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. No score to the 5th inning. Nate Adcock with 4 scoreless innings, allowing just 2 hits. Coming up on the next homestand, we'll have our girls' night out. That is Friday, June 1st. It's presented by your KC Chevy dealers. The first 10,000 ladies receive a Royals Sun hat. Gates open at 4:30 for pregame activities in the outfield experience, such as a fashion show by Macy's, dueling pianos, cooking demos, fragrance samples, and much more. The night benefits the American Heart Association Go Red for Women campaign. No connection whatsoever, but it's Dog Day at the K today, and it's Ladies' Night on June the 1st when we come back.
Glad you said it so eloquently.
The only thing that those two have in common is that they are promotions that we have once a year at the ballpark. Goldschmidt lines it to left off the screen, and Alex turns, fires quickly to the infield, but Goldschmidt is at second base with a leadoff double. He's 1 for 2.
Okay, kept him in the yard. No chance. That's belt high fastball, and Gordon just turned and ran. Want to throw him out, but Adcock's fortunate that ball wasn't in the seats. So maybe he can go to work now, do some pitching. See Goldschmidt, he's looking around. Even though he's not a speed guy, he's looking around, making a little mental note of where the outfielders are playing. That's good. You want to know, make a mental picture. So on contact, maybe you get a better jump and score the run.
Aaron Hill goes the other way. Goldschmidt had to freeze and make sure the line drive got through, so he'll move to third. So Aaron Hill is 1 for 2. And Arizona has runners at the corners, nobody out.
Okay, that's a good little short swing. Short swing did the job. Look at Goldschmidt. He had to see it through. Didn't want to get lined out. Nobody out. Now this guy coming up, he's the same kind of hitter, John McDonald. Veteran, 36 years old. There's Aaron Hill. He's a veteran as well. He's a contact hitter.
And he's going to bunt. He bunts it to Hosmer, and Hosmer has no play. It looked like he wanted to come to the plate because his momentum was toward home plate, but wasn't able to grab it cleanly. Arizona takes a 1-0 lead.
Wouldn't have got him anyway. But he didn't out. Okay, you can see it. It's more of a safety squeeze. It's not a suicide squeeze. And I don't think he would have thrown him out anyway. But look at the positioning there. Perfect bunt. You got to get some outs here for Nate. So unfortunately, it'll go as a sacrifice, but an E3.
And McDonald should get an RBI. So first and second, nobody out, and now the Royals might be defending against another bunt. Gerardo Parra has lined to center field, and he has walked. He's going to swing away, and he takes ball 1. Well, one adjustment perhaps the Diamondbacks are making against Adcock is to swing early in the count. Goldschmidt doubled on the first pitch. Hill singled on the first pitch, and McDonald's bunt was on the first pitch.
That's right. You know, you got to be able to mix them up.
And a bunt attempt is foul. That was for a base hit.
Parra's a .250 hitter with a runner in scoring position this year. Maybe Gibson just said, hey, I'm going to let you attempt one bunt, and I'm going to let you swing away. Still a little bit early in the game, although it's not really. It's middle of the game and only one run. You'd think you might want to move the runners. Play the National League brand of baseball in an American League park.
On the ground, Giavotella out at second base. No double play as Escobar looks over to third, but Aaron Hill stayed on the bag.
Okay, first man sure, second man quick, but Escobar knew better. Look at that hard slide by McDonald. He's a veteran who knows how to play the game.
And now hoping for another ground ball from Ryan Roberts, who grounded to third in the third and struck out in the first.
Well, Roberts is a lane ball candidate. There's a little fake to third, see if he's going to go anywhere at first. And when I say lane ball, that's a term they use for put him in the lane, double play ball. 6 ground ball double plays he's hit into this year. That's amongst the league leaders.
And Nate Adcock is thinking the Diamondbacks might try and avoid the double play by running Parra, who stole his 10th base in the third inning.
So the tempo has slowed, as there's some thinking going on. There's some body language out there. There's signs being given from Matty Williams, the third base coach, over to Eric Young, the first base coach. There's stuff going on with one out. Adcock is thinking, well, what am I going to do here? Well, just throw it, ball down low, and see if you can get a grounder and get out of the inning.
And there's a ground ball to Moustakas, who will come to the plate. And that was the right play. I don't think that was hit hard enough to be a double play, so you might as well get the runner at third. 2 down.
Nope, he definitely did the right thing. Plays in front of you, go ahead and get the out. Look at Pena. He dropped the gates on him. The gates are his shin guards, saying, nope, you're not going to get home. So Hill says, all right, I'll just make it look good.
And that's a heck of a slide if the baselines are only 85 feet.
Right.
He's probably safe.
Yeah. He didn't want a shin guard sandwich. Okay, now Upton will be swinging early in the count. He thinks that fastball's coming. He'll be looking now. Adcock seems like he's a little bit worried about Parra at second base. Runner can't hurt you. The hitter can.
And the hitter can really hurt you if you've got your attention divided 50% to the runner and 50% to the hitter. Ball 1 to Upton.
Let him have third base. Concentrate on executing your pitches. Now Pena might be going out there and telling him that. His tempo is slowed way down. And you know, hitters read off of that. They say he's unsure of himself right now. If he gets the ball, gets out there and throws it, gets another one, throws it, hitters don't have time to think. It's good rhythm. Your teammates behind you. It's a confident body language.
So what do you do then as a hitter when you see him slowing down and you think he's questioning himself?
I'm thinking, you know what? He's a little nervous right now. I'm going to get him.
Well, that pitch crossed up Pena.
Yeah, it did.
And it might have cost Adcock a strike.
It did, because this is a perfect location. That's right over the middle of the plate, but Pena was thinking about something else coming. and didn't get him a strike in a big situation here.
It's hard for an umpire to stay focused on the strike zone when you got the catcher leaning to the right and way out of the strike zone.
He'll be fortunate if he can get out of this. Just don't like the way this is feeling.
Ooh. And that's called a strike.
There you go. Sneak that piece of cheese in there.
Diamondbacks and Upton thought that ball was up. But if Upton swings at that pitch, it was a hanging changeup, he might have hit it out of the ballpark. Three balls, one strike.
Montero won't be any easier on deck. And he bats from the left side with a little pop.
On the corner. So he's hanging in there, still making quality pitches, and one pitch away from getting Upton again.
Good little breaking ball there. Perfectly located.
And he struck out Upton with a pitch on that part of the plate, down and away, and then Upton got him for a single to right center field, swinging at a pitch that part of the plate. So at this point, I think Upton knows that Adcock wants to work him down and away.
Fans trying to get behind Adcock here. Big pitch coming.
Runners go, and Upton hits it in the air, foul ground, and Hosmer over to the railing, and he makes the catch. So Adcock avoids a big inning. Arizona only gets one.
And Rex Hudler on Hy-Vee Royals Live, but what was that goofy look for back here at Kauffman Stadium? Well, Gibby was giving Rex a hard time. They first met on a campus visit when Rex was visiting Michigan State, hosted by Kirk Gibson. And then years later, in 1984, they re-met again when they were both in the big leagues.
Hey, Kirk, Rex Hudler, do you remember me? You showed me around the campus. You looked at me and said, "You punk. What are you doing here?"
You're soft.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you, the bat boy?
Back in the day, we didn't really talk to the opponent very much.
Right. That's why I was a little.
Fraternizing wasn't
I
allowed,
was timid
so
walking up there.
that was me telling you to get lost.
And fortunately, Kirk Gibson did not tell us to get lost, but after 2 questions in 4 minutes, We had to go to a commercial break, and he had to go manage a game, and he said, those stories sometimes can get kind of long. But, Rex, he gave you a good hard time. You gave him a hard time. You had something else you wanted to ask him. We ran out of time.
Yeah, it was a bummer, man. I wanted to ask him to share with our audience about his All-Star experience. What was his greatest moment? And when I brought that up to him, he looked at me and he snapped, "I never played an All-Star game." And I said, "I knew that. I was messing with you." And so his comeback to me was, how do you play 13 years in the majors and never be on an All-Star ballot?
So that was sort of where you were hoping to go with it.
Yeah, now that would have been a lot more fun because he came right back on me. He knew I was never even on a ballot. How bad is that?
You know what I liked? I like that.
Yeah, that's a knock, a leadoff knock.
Dyson is 1 for 2. Go ahead, Joel.
Well, I just like the fact that going into that interview, Ryan, and they had talked about a little bit of that Rex had no idea whether Kirk Gibson was going to snap and not want to joke around or joke around. He's still intense to this day, and Rex had no idea what he was going to get, but it was a lot of fun.
I'm no Joe Goldberg. Interviewing is not really my specialty, but it sure is fun interviewing another guy like him that very similar. Him and I, we were football players and baseball players' bodies. And we were both #1 picks in the same year. The Tigers made a great choice, and the Yankees didn't when they picked me. But what you gonna do?
Well, he still has that scruffy look that he had as a player, which was intimidating. I mean, he came to the plate with hair coming out of his hat in all different directions, and the scruff, and his uniform was dirty. Vin Scully had a great line about him. The great Dodger announcer, Kirk Gibson, came to the plate and he said, "Kirk Gibson looks like he arrived tonight by raft."
That's great. Oh, it's a beauty. See if Dyson gets in the mind of Miley. I got another Gibson story, though, but I'll wait. I'll tell it later because I feel something's coming here with Gio. See, the fact that Ned Yost has Dyson now not in the 9-hole and Gio up at the top, this is the action spot. Okay, you got 2 leadoff hitters. You got a guy that can hit the ball in the hole over here, hit something in this hole, and send that runner to third base. You don't necessarily have to steal Dyson. Miley being a left-handed pitcher, he's already looking at you. That's a good enough move. Sometimes, just the threat is good enough. There's Eddie Rodriguez. He's flashing some signs over there.
Dyson takes off, and Miley throws to first, and Dyson is out. 1, 3, 6.
Okay, now you're going head first like that late of a slide, you're looking for some trouble. Dyson gets up a little slow. Watch this late slide. And John McDonald, he kind of put his body there a little bit. See, his legs and everything were there. He's a hard ball player at McDonald. Look at him. How about a knee sandwich? And so Dyson will be sore tomorrow, I guarantee you. You're better off going feet first, especially when they pick you off like that. And if you don't know your opponent, that John McDonald, he's a hard ball player. Do you see him drop his knees in there? And you can see that out of the peripheral vision as you go cover the base. I used to do the same thing. I would drop the gate. When I saw a guy coming in head first, you could see the throw, plays right in front of you. You drop that leg in front of the base, your knee down in front. He can't get there. That's Hill, but it was...
No, it was McDonald.
Okay, when you're going, he can see that. He could see he was coming head first. So go ahead and block the base. You can do that. It's legal. And that got Dyson's shoulder.
And now Giavotella strikes out. 2 outs and nobody on. 3 strikeouts for Miley. Let's answer our AT&T trivia question. Which team had the most players in the 1973 All-Star Game in Kansas City? Let's see, the Big Red Machine was going at that time. The Orioles were good at that time. The Oakland A's were good at that time.
Well, I'm going to say the A's.
Nice work. 6 from the Oakland A's at the 1973 All-Star Game here in Kansas City. And you actually can make it 7, as Dick Williams was the manager for the defending world champions that year. Well, leadoff single But in the end, the Royals send just 3 to the plate in the 5th inning. Arizona leads 1-0. On leading off the bottom of the 5th, but the Royals are scoreless, and they'll be making a pitching change. It'll be Kelvin Herrera coming on. So the Royals got 5 innings out of Nate Adcock, who allowed just 1 run.
Okay, I think he did a really good job. He was able to keep his team in the game. Okay, they scratched a run off him, but hey, look, that's a nice outing. Hopefully, he'll build off of that, and he'll gain some confidence, and they'll let him go again. Maybe he can go deeper.
So Chevy called to the bullpen to bring on Herrera. 5 innings for Adcock. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Herrera will get Montero, Young, and Kubel. Adcock threw 77 pitches in his 5 innings. Montero singled and flied out. That's below the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. (3-0). Herrera pitched on Friday night against the Diamondbacks and allowed a couple of runs in an inning and a third. He did not face Montero. Three and one.
Yep, you got that heater. Try to get back in the count. You see Pena, he's holding his glove right out there saying, oh, come on. Stay right here. Let no free rides.
Full count. Royals bullpen in the loss to the Diamondbacks on Friday gave up 2 runs in 3 1/3 innings, and then in the win last night didn't allow any runs in 2 2/3 innings. Still 3-2.
Well, he could really rock Montero's world with the changeup here. He's got a beauty. He's throwing him all fastballs, you know, upper 90s. And that changeup he throws will put a little kink in your neck as it goes away from the lefty. Good fading action down and away. We'll see if he goes with it there. Probably not. Fastball. No, it was his changeup.
Gordon makes a play in left field. Montero is 1 for 3. The Royals, in conjunction with the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, are offering fans a limited edition All-Star brick. You can purchase a personalized brick that includes the commemorative All-Star Game logo, and your brick will be installed and on display outside the stadium. So go to Royals.com/bricks for more information.
Now, do you get to put whatever you want on the brick?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I can get one and say that we were here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could say Rex was here.
No, my boys, you know, I got 3 boys and got me some tickets already, and just come and enjoy it with the fans. And I think that's a pretty cool thing to be able to say. Bring your kids back when they're grown and say, hey, you remember that?
You've probably noticed walking into the front of the stadium since the renovation. That was part of a Royals effort with Royals Charities to allow fans to have commemorative bricks as you walk in the front, and names of families, bricks honoring family members, longtime fans of the Royals, and those bricks will always be there. And Royals taking some of the proceeds from that to local charities in Kansas City. Again, Alex Gordon in left field, and Chris Young is 0 for 3. We asked you earlier in our Sprint You Call It question, what team will have the most players in the All-Star game? And Rex suggested the Texas Rangers. The fans agree by a big margin, 72%. The Yankees are next closest at 13%.
Well, they're getting over about 40,000 a night there now. This team is rocking. And what was even more special with our little 2-game visit there is we punched them in the gut. It was beautiful to see that. They were flying high, just took 2 out of 3 from the Angels, and was talking to their coaching staff, and they're talking about how well-rounded they are, and they're giving me all this information. They're kind of a little bit high, and we went out and just busted. It was beautiful. Bruce Chin, he went right through them like a knife in hot butter. Just abused them and left town, and they were licking their wounds a little. It was really cool to see.
1-2 on Jason Kubel.
This game will humble you. You never know. Watch this. Look at that wicked action on that changeup. That ball moved about 2 feet away from the batter. Hard to hit that one. If you do, you do that. That's how he got all 3 outs on that changeup.
Herrera comes on, faces 3, and gets 3 fly balls. Joan South from Olathe, Kansas. And if the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Joan wins $3,800. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, then Joan South wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Mike Moustakas has singled and grounded out, and he hits that foul off the right field line. No balls, 2 strikes, and he's had another good day at third base.
I'll say, routine play. Go ahead, make it. Got to have him. Now that's a little tester coming in, but really he makes that play in his sleep.
Shattered bat. It's still 0-2.
Moose hitting .313 against left-handers coming in. He's got no homers against the southpaw, but he wants to make Jones South a winner.
That's a big jackpot.
Go ahead and just get a little back underside of that ball and get it up in that wind. It'll have some nice carry for you, Joan.
And Moustakas homered to right field in the 4th inning last night. Cleared the right field bullpen. Hit it up into the seats. Still alive. No balls, 2 strikes. So Wade Miley has held the Royals to 4 hits and no runs in 5 innings. The Royals have had the leadoff man on in 3 of the 5 innings. As Moustakas hits it hard on 1 hop, but Aaron Hill throws from the grass, and there is 1 out. So Billy Butler to the plate with 1 out. Remember, you can follow the Royals with the MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. You'll get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Just text @BAT, and the number is 31826. Not today. Really didn't get all of it, but especially with the weather conditions and where the wind is blowing. Billy hits a routine fly ball to the outfield and 2 down.
Well, I can tell by the looks of the outfielders how they're playing. That wind and the sun's having a little bit of an effect out there. So you never know if you're a hitter and you hit a ball up, you make sure you go 100%. If that guy drops that ball, you get into scoring position and you can win a ball game like that. But I can tell they're a little gingerly going after them balls, and having been out there before, that sun plays a big part in the elements of a day baseball game.
Well, Miley just got a free pitch as he stepped out, and Carapazza did not grant him time.
I like that. First time all year we've seen that. Most umpires, they jump out of there whenever the hitter jumps out. Got to give that pitcher some time, or the umpire a little time to call time. See how he steps out. It's a free pitch. It was a ball.
Toward the right field corner, the wind will push it away from Upton, and now the ball bounces off the wall, and that will roll away from Upton, and Frank Coor will go to third base with 2 outs.
Stay hot, Frenchie.
3 for 3, and that's his 2nd triple of the year.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, that ball got up to the height that it was right before it started coming down, and I could see that wind pushing it away from Upton. Upton, he started out not as fast as far as his speed goes. Watch him, he's picking it up a little bit. He's saying, man, I got no chance. I'm gonna cover up. So that's what I'm talking about. The elements of the game, the wind, the sun, plays a big part. Now let's see if Gordon can tie this up. Look at Frenchie, he knows it. Hit the inside part of the base. He got him a big league triple.
Down and away, ball 1. Alex has grounded out to first, and he has grounded back to the mound. Just 1 for 10 in this series.
Just shorten up that swing a little bit. Shorten up that swing and go ahead and just poke it out there.
Oh, on the ground to Hill. So Frank Coor is stranded at third, and at the end of 6, it's still 1-0 Arizona. Panera Bread with 23 locations and now in Brookside. Visit us at PaneraKansas.com. And by AT&T Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. 1-0 Diamondbacks, and it was a bunt single from John McDonald in the 5th inning that gave Arizona the lead. Paul Goldschmidt coming around to score. Nate Adcock making his first start, allowing the 1 earned run in 5 innings. And Jeff Francoeur, who told Joel at the beginning of the series that he felt like he was getting very close to getting his swing back. His 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a triple. 3 pitches, down goes Paul Goldschmidt, who scored the Arizona run in the 5th. And now Kelvin Herrera has retired all 4 batters that he has faced. And now he'll get Aaron Hill, who singled in the 5th and grounded out in the 3rd. The former first-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays. Doesn't look like a guy who has a 36 home run season with 108 RBIs, but that's what he did for Toronto in 2009. There's the changeup, and it's 1-2.
Well, he had that one good season. They were expecting more. That's why they unloaded him. Sometimes when you have a season that good, they expect you to do that every year. It's not easy.
And Herrera gets another strikeout, 2 down. You know, Rex, there's another player, in my opinion, similar to Aaron Hill, and they've had the same after effects. Brandon Inge. Brandon Inge used to be a line drive type of a hitter. Good player on defense, good average. And then all of a sudden he had a huge home run season. And then the focus became home runs. And after that, the batting average suffered. The home runs weren't the same. And just to add to your point, and you know, you have a 36 home run season. That's a big number. And your team's going to expect that kind of power from you, and you begin to change your swing.
Now you want to have a year like that, or 2 or 3 or 4 of them, but you got to know who you are. You got to know what kind of hitter you are. When you're an on-base guy, got some good speed, got little alley power, and you start hitting homers, that tricks your mind. You say, "Oh wow, okay, I can do that." And now you ride that wave because you get in a groove. Your eyes tell you your hands where your home run pitches are, and you ride that as long as you can. But sometimes that'll take you away from what you got there with. I didn't hit a lot of home runs, but whenever I hit one, it took me out of my game. I remember some managers saying, "All right, don't get too bull happy up there."
Well, what was it last Sunday when the Royals were in Chicago and Jeff Francoeur finally hit his first home run of the season, and it was a no doubt home run to left field. But then his comment after the game was, "I went to the plate just thinking I wanted to hit a line drive to right field." He was just trying to hit the ball hard the opposite way. Got a pitch that he could turn on, and that's when the home run came. Escobar makes the play up the middle, and that's 2 perfect innings for Kelvin Herrera, getting a little bit of help from his defense.
The game's top culprits that would try to take an extra base from his Royals. Yet Frank Core remains unafraid to take one for his team at every opportunity. Jeff Francoeur has fought for you. It's time to fight for him. Crown a Royal. Vote Jeff Francoeur to the 2012 All-Star Game in Kansas City.
And Jeff Francoeur's had a big day today with 3 hits, a couple of singles and a triple, and he is our AT&T Uverse reverse replay.
All right, one good 3-hit, possibly a 4-hit day does a lot for your confidence and even more for your batting average, especially under 200 at bats. That average will jump up, and he looked good running the bases. He gets to run 3. Unfortunately, they couldn't get him in, but maybe they will this inning here. But Miley, he's pretty much had his way. He's done a nice job executing for the Diamondbacks with his sinking fastball. He's got a good slurvy curveball. He's getting some guys to swing on it and a couple change-ups. Hard for the Royals to figure him out. They've gotten 5 hits as well as the Diamondbacks.
And he was already pitching well before today with a 4-1 record, a 2.52 ERA. He is making his 6th start and was put into the Diamondbacks rotation because of an injury when Daniel Hudson went on the disabled list.
Ooh. He's curveball strike 1 and fastball on the outside corner strike 2.
Hosmer goes up the middle, and McDonald was playing the middle, so he goes to the other side of second base and throws out Hosmer, who is 0 for 2. The Royals, Fox Sports, and the state of Missouri are teaming up to help you stop smoking now. The state of Missouri tobacco quit line is 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Brian Pena with 1 out. Brian with a 3-hit game last night. Today he has flied to right and grounded out to second base.
Here, watch Miley. Watch him. He gets the ball back. Look what he does. He stands right there. He doesn't even leave the rubber. You know, he just gets right back off on that rubber. Gets the ball and is ready to go. Look at him. That's tempo right there. That's a good positive tempo. He's got some stuff, and he's coming right at these Royals. I like that body language.
Pena goes the other way and has a 1-out base hit.
I like that stroke. Didn't try to do too much. Put it in play. I like Brian Pena. You could see Montero. He wanted that ball up a little higher. Look at the head position there when you go to the opposite field. Good follow through. But Montero, he wanted that pitch up a little higher. He was coming up out of his crouch. Miley missed.
And ball 1-2 Dyson. Miley now at 91 pitches. He's only had one 20-pitch inning, and then 11, 12, 12, 12, and 8 so far in this inning.
And with that type of rhythm he has, and that it's working.
Dyson on the ground. Hill handles a tricky hop, and because of the hop, no double play. That's all the time that Dyson needed. The Diamondbacks do get the lead runner. Pena's out at second, and there are 2 outs.
Okay, now Dyson, he went on first movement. So we see the replay again. It's a routine double play. If there's nobody can run like that. Got down there now. Let's see if he tries to steal second again. If the same thing happens, you want to keep running just like he did. Make the first baseman make a good throw to try to get you. Maybe he doesn't slide head first this time into John McDonald. Remember Terry Mulholland, Mark Langston? They had great step-off moves. See Dyson, he barely flinched when Miley stepped off. Boy, they would nail you.
That is just foul. And it saved a run. Giavotella can pull the ball. He's really been hitting the ball hard to center field, right center, and right since rejoining the Royals. But he is foul line to foul line. His first big league hit, I remember, was a double up the right field line against the Tigers, and then his first home run was up the left field line just inside the foul pole. So the Diamondbacks will play him to all fields. Giavotella leading off for the first time today.
He's a doubles hitting machine. At least he was in the minors. Love to see one here.
And that is low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look out over the plate for a mistake. Be ready for it and put it in play in the large part of the field. That's where you might find a gap. Want to try to hit his pitch. Look for the mistake pitch.
Out in front, thought he had a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miley now has gone at least 6 innings in 5 of his 6 starts. He is trying to go 7 now for the second time this year. He went 7 innings against the Colorado Rockies. That was last year, so that would be his career high.
Johnny wants to seize the moment.
Close pitch. Miley was walking off the mound toward the third base dugout. 2-2. Diamondbacks first round pick, first round sandwich pick in 2008. And now 3-2 with Escobar next. And now timeout for a moment. Something is fallen onto the field in the left field corner.
You know, umpires, they got their eyes out everywhere. How could they see that balloon that fell out there? They're looking. Their job is to police the field, keep it safe for the players. Because Gio just might pull a ball right down there where that balloon landed.
Dyson will be running on this 3-2 pitch, so with his speed, really don't have to get one all the way up the line or do a gap. I mean, Dyson could score on a long single.
No question. A well-placed single.
And Giavotella chops it to third. Roberts will throw him out. So Wade Miley goes 7 scoreless innings. It's still 1-0 Arizona to the 8th.
Takes us around the league. We'll look at the AL Central teams. Miami defeats Derek Lowe and the Indians 5-3. Detroit 15 strikeouts in 7 innings for Max Scherzer in that game. Ryan Braun 4 RBIs with the hit attack for Milwaukee, and the White Sox once again on top of the Cubs for now, and Adam Dunn his 14th home run. Ryan, I was kind of thinking as I saw that Milwaukee score, these are the games that Zach Greinke used to play in, or used to like playing in, so he could actually hit. He does that all the time in the National League now, but in that interleague game, he has 2 hits today, guys.
Well, Zach, of course, was a first-round pick of the Royals. Chevy called to the bullpen here as Greg Holland takes over in the 8th. But some scouts believe that he would have been drafted in the top maybe 7 rounds if he was taken as a position player. Maybe a shortstop or a third baseman. Greg Holland will get the top of the Diamondbacks order. Royals got 5 innings out of Nate Adcock. 5 good innings, giving up 1 run, 5 hits. Pitched his way out of a potential mess in the 5th, allowing just 1 run. And then 2 perfect innings from Kelvin Herrera, and he struck out 2. Parra walked, stole a base in the 3rd. He's 0 for 2. Ryan Roberts on deck. And then Justin Upton.
Keep this guy off the bases. He can run. No free passes, make him earn it.
2-1.
You know, I was talking with the great John Wathen, Duke, he's known as around here, and he was talking about interleague play. Why don't Major League Baseball let the National League cities have a DH? Let the fans see that. Good off speed there. Let the fans see what it's like in the American League in the National League Park. And then in the American League parks, why don't you let the pitchers hit? So let the fans see their own hip. You know, it's a good idea he had.
I agree. We've got fans since 1973 who, in the American League cities, have never seen the National League style of play. And of course, the argument against those rules is, you know, who wants to see a guy hitting 107 come to the plate? And I understand that. I mean, I mean, would you rather see Billy Butler hit as the DH or some guy who hasn't hit since 2004? But there's just so much more strategy involved in a National League game.
It involves different elements: bunting, executing, moving guys over. And just for, you know, interleague play, I'm sure Bud Selig had that in mind to give the fans a little different taste of different leagues, but I thought John Wathen had a great idea.
Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg at Kauffman Stadium with director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Lavero, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, and the rest of our Fox Sports Kansas City crew. We will say goodbye to them after today's game. The Royals will be on the road for 9 games in 10 days, going to New York, Baltimore, and Cleveland. Looked like Roberts was going to bunt again. 2 balls, no strikes. Roberts is 0 for 3 today.
Kirk Gibson gives the signs to Matty Williams, the third base coach, who then gives them on to the hitter and the runner. They have options. Parra, he's got 10 stolen bases.
Good bunt. Holland was going off to the first base side of the mound, and with a double clutch, he's still able to throw out Giavotella, or throw to Giavotella. Roberts thought he was safe. He does get the job done and moves Parra up to second.
Well, it's very difficult to bunt a mid-90s fastball, so I got to give Roberts some credit for that. Now, he put it in a place where he thought he might have could get a base hit on it, but Gio got over there just in time and Holland had to kind of double clutch. Had to make sure that Gio was over there on the base. Got him. Good call.
Jerry Davis is the first base umpire and crew chief. So Parra's at second. And now we get to the middle of the order. Justin Upton was 1 for 3 against Nate Adcock. In the dirt, and Parra will go to third. Wild pitch.
So now Ned's going to have a decision to make. Are they going to bring the infielders in? Pena had the right form. Ball just kicked to his right. Couldn't keep it in front. So yeah, he's going to bring his guys in. Any little ground balls, they'll try to make a play to play it on the speedy Parra.
That was Holland's first wild pitch of the year. Now that's an important stat with a runner at third. Fouled away by Upton.
Parra came charging down that line. 4 or 5 hard steps to see if he could rattle Holland a little bit, get him to balk. Didn't work.
2-1. Diamondbacks' only run was in the 5th inning. Paul Goldschmidt doubled, and John McDonald with a bunt single got him home. Good pitch over the outside, 2-2. Justin Upton has been at odds with this umpiring crew all weekend.
Upton gave him a little earful there. Better be hacking anything close.
Boy, that's close enough.
Right here, you better be.
Into right field. Parra tags. Francoeur trying to get behind it. Heaves it all the way to the plate.
Oh.
And he got under the tag. Man, what a throw by Francoeur. And Pena able to hang on after a collision with Parra.
What a great position on that Francoeur got. Watch him how he gets in back of the ball. Okay, now he's going to come up. That's how he gets his momentum, and he just airmails it. It's an all or nothing, right on the money. Pena did a good job of hanging in there. As Parra's hard slide knocked him down, he held on, and wow, he made a lot out of that when most guys couldn't make it close.
So it's 2-0 Arizona as Upton drives in his 2nd run of the series.
That wild pitch helped get them that extra run, got him over to third base.
Oh, 0-2 on Miguel Montero.
Okay, Pena did all he could to get his shin guards there. Still hasn't tagged him yet. Parra crosses the plate. And he's safe. Good hard slide, feet first. Tremendous attempt there.
Holland thought that was strike 3. So now the Royals and the Diamondbacks are trying to figure out the strike zone of Vic Carapazza.
It's not where he catches it, it's where it crosses the plate. But it's an imaginary strike zone to the umpire.
Shallow left. The inning is over. The Diamondbacks add a run in the 8th and lead 2-0.
we'll be talking about the pitching matchup. Nate Adcock, pretty good. Wade Miley, very good. Some missed opportunities for the Royals. Big offensive day for Jeff Francoeur. Ned Yost reaction, much more. And we'll get you ready for the Royals and Yankees. Paulino, Hochevar, and Mendoza. That's starting tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it after the game. And real quick, Rex was on the pregame show today filling in for Monty and got a nice little tweet, actually pretty funny. Greg Keith says, can you tell Rex to stop toting around that Quintero home run ball that he dove in the water for? Thoughts?
Well, it's awfully warm at times, and by golly, what's wrong with a dog jumping in the water out there? Of course, you're not allowed to do that here.
The dog will get arrested.
That's right.
We better not get Ryan going here.
Yeah, I know the ball annoys some people, but for me, it's my pacifier. It kind of helps calm me a little bit. And also, if somebody's in a bar...
Hard to get that in your mouth, though, isn't it?
Yes, even though there's people that would like for that ball to be there as well. But I got to tell you, it's so fun to be able to give the baseball away at the end of the day to a fan and market the game. But you know what? There will be no jumping in the water.
Fullest extent of the law, which I think is the firing squad. And we had a fan, was it last homestand or earlier this homestand? It was last homestand. Jumped in the water, got the ball out, jumping up and down, and left in handcuffs.
That's right. Okay, they got a new arm out there. Maybe this will be a good thing to get Miley out. Man, was he good.
David Hernandez and Miley went 7 scoreless innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Moustakas. Royals left 7 runners on base against Wade Miley. Miley only had 1 1-2-3 inning. And now Moustakas is down on strikes, so Hernandez has come out of the bullpen and struck out Escobar and Moustakas.
Okay, the one before that was a better pitch to hit, but this one here was a strikeout ball, and obviously they've seen his big curve. He's got a curve, he's got a sinker, and a changeup. But he likes to come at you to set that curveball up with a fastball, so be ready. Getting late here.
And Billy Butler is hit by a pitch. So the Royals will take that. It brings the tying run to the plate with 2 outs. Billy is on for the 2nd time.
Okay, there's a breaking ball that got away from him and it hits him right on that pad. He's got a little pad on his elbow there for just that. It's legal. You can do that. The pad's got to be a certain size, though. It can't be too big. But he'll be all right. Maybe they can work into something. Frenchie, go ahead and have a day and stay hot.
Great pitch. 97 on the black of the plate and down around the knees.
That's no 2-seam sinker there. That's a 4-seamer with a lot on it.
One ball, 1 strike. Francoeur singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and tripled off the wall in the right field corner in the 6th. And added 15 points to his batting average today. Pitch out over the plate, and that'll drop into center field. And Butler will go first to third. Now the tying run is on base. And Jeff Francoeur ties his career high with a 4-hit game.
There you go, Frenchie. When you're hot, you get knocks like that. And that bat, it died a hero. Check it out. It's off the end. There's pieces flying everywhere. He didn't even know where it was. You're going good when that happens. Run, Frenchie. Hey, how about Billy Butler? Go ahead, Billy. Show him those running skills. All right, he makes this move on his own. He saw the play in front of him, and he comes in there at third base now. There's 2 outs. See if they can keep a little 2-out rally going here.
The go-ahead run is Alex Gordon, and he is some kind of dude. 0 for 3 today. 1 for 11 in the series. And just 3 out of 21 on the homestand. Inside, ball 1.
Okay, that good hard fastball needs to be out over the middle for him to get it up in that little breeze there. And you talked about him being due. He is. We'll just see.
Out over the plate. Alex has seen this pitcher 3 times, and he's 0 for 2 with a walk. David Hernandez. With 2 outs and nobody on, Butler was hit by a pitch, and then Francoeur singled to center for his 4th hit of the day. And there we go. Now, let me first say, hitting a baseball is not easy, and especially one that's 96, 97 miles an hour, although we think the gun here at Kauffman Stadium is a little bit on the high side. But those 2 swings at fastballs there, we've seen Alex drive that ball into left center field.
He's trying to pull it.
Francoeur runs. Alex started to go and went around. Greg Gibson, the umpire at third base. So Hernandez ends up striking out the side, and the Royals strand 2 against Hernandez in the 8th. Camera for Crown Vision, playing Sweet Child of Mine. She's a little young to be knowing that song on the air guitar, isn't she?
But she has pretty nice skills.
Yeah,
there.
she hit all the notes. Lewis Coleman in the 9th, 4th Royals pitcher today. Nate Adcock went 5 and gave up 1 run. Kelvin Herrera pitched 2 scoreless innings. Greg Holland allowed a run in the 8th without a base hit. And now Coleman trying to keep the Diamondbacks at 2 runs. In the bottom of the 9th, the Royals have Hosmer, Pena, Dyson. Moustakas backhands, throws to Hosmer, 1 away. Chris Young is 0 for 4. Royals lost the first 3 games of the homestand, 2 to Baltimore and then game 1 to Arizona. Now hoping to win today. It'll be a losing homestand no matter what, but 2 and 3 looks a lot better than 1 and 4. The Royals put an end to Arizona's 6-game winning streak here at Kauffman Stadium. They are 10 and 4. The Diamondbacks are in Kansas City. And there has been no home field advantage when these two teams get together. The road team has won all 6 series. The Royals trying to turn that around today. Down by 2 at the moment. Jason Kubel, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's 0 for 3 today. Two and 1. Coleman pitched an inning and 2/3 in game 1 on Friday. An inning and 2/3 scoreless with 2 strikeouts. This is his 10th appearance of the year. 3 and 1.
Okay, hard fastball. We'll see out of that 3/4 arm angle. He's a sweeping slider and a changeup. Try to get back in that count. Give any free rides.
And a walk with 1 out. And now Paul Goldschmidt. Diamondbacks scored in the 5th. Goldschmidt doubled. 2 batters later, John McDonald with a bunt base hit got Goldschmidt to the plate. And then in the 8th inning, Gerardo Parra led off with a walk, bunted to second base, went to third on a wild pitch, and scored on a sac fly. So 1 run, no hits for Arizona in the 8th inning.
Steven Strasburg, he hit his first career home run. Star pitcher for the Washington Nationals.
Into left center and in the sun, but Dyson has a beat on it. There are 2 outs. And now a couple of former LSU Tigers hooking up here. Aaron Hill, 1st-round pick of the Blue Jays in 03 out of LSU. And then Lewis Coleman, who was drafted out of LSU in 2009, right after LSU won a national championship.
They were a little bit apart there, but I'm sure that they know who the alumni is there.
Coleman was the 2009 SEC Pitcher of the Year. And Aaron Hill was the 2003 SEC Player of the Year. Maybe you heard the story. Coleman changed his number during the offseason. He was number 46 last year. Played with a kid by the name of Wally Pontiff at LSU. Or honoring a player named Wally Pontiff who played at LSU. Wally Pontiff was on the 2000 national championship team and died shortly after winning that national championship. Wally Pontiff did. He was number 31, and Lewis played with his younger brother Nick. So that's the number change from 46 to 31. So there's a lot of LSU spirit on the field right now.
Yep. And Coleman's hoping to win it. Get his team back in the dugout, see if they can put a comeback on J.J. Putz.
And now 3 balls, 1 strike. The starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks today, Wade Miley, is from Louisiana. He went to the University of Louisiana Monroe. Two walks in the inning. So Kubel to second. Hill to first. Dave Island to the mound before Coleman pitches to John McDonald.
Okay, there's already 2 outs, so Dave can't talk him into rolling a ground ball double play. All he can say is, hey, get an early count out here off McDonald. Get him to swing. Get us back in the dugout, because maybe Dave feels like they're going to come back. Only 2 runs down. Can happen. J.J. Putz is giving it up earlier in the season. He could do it again.
Oh, 0-1 to McDonald, who had a bunt single and an RBI in the 5th inning, and then lost a base hit on a line out to short. Escobar made a nice play, and John McDonald is not normally known for what he does at the plate, is hitting .296.
Really a good, solid, fundamentally sound defensive shortstop and second base. Could play some third, but really good shortstop at 36. Takes care of himself.
0-2. Popped up. Hosmer calls for it. He brings it down. So the Diamondbacks strand 2 to the bottom of the 9th inning. Hosmer, Pena, and Dyson against Diamondbacks closer J.J. Putz. By Miller Lite.
All right, go ahead, Frenchie. Have a day. Tied his career high in hits. He got 4 with this triple off the wall in right field. He's had a good day, but it would be even better if his teammates could scratch a couple runs here. Look at Brian, or look at Billy Butler going now. This 4th hit, as the ball chipped, Frenchie didn't know where it was. He looked up in the sky, and then he decided, oh man, that looks like a hit, so he's going good. See if they can get J.J. Putz here.
Who has 8 saves and 2 blown saves. Hosmer down, no balls, 1 strike, batting 7th today with the left-handed starter Wade Miley, who pitched 7 scoreless innings. Hosmer is grounded to short, popped to short, and walked. He did not face Putz on Friday night when J.J. Putz got his 8th save of the year, and there's a line drive to right, and Upton makes the play, and that is just another line out, a long list of line outs for Eric Hosmer.
Okay, he knew that Putz was going to come in there with a fastball just like he did in game 1 of this series. So he was swinging at the first one, and that one he just got too much at the backside of it. He squared that up perfectly. And a tough play by Upton. Ball had a little sinkage to it. Man, if he just could get under that ball, it's out of there. Very frustrating for Eric Hosmer. Putz has that split finger he uses after he gets ahead of you.
Strike to Brian Pena, 1 for 3 with a 7th inning single. We showed you this on Friday, the big turnaround for Arizona's bullpen last year, which had a lot to do with their turnaround as a team. Last place in 2009, last place in 2010, and then 94 wins in 2011. And the bullpen went from the worst ERA in National League history, 5.74. They dropped 2 points off of that and led the league in saves, and J.J. Putz had 45 of those 58 saves.
Well, that's an amazing statistic there from year to year, but that'll tell you how important it is to have the back end of a bullpen. It can be consistent and get you outs. And that's what he does. Now we'll see if he gives him a split finger. 0-2. It's like most closers. He comes right at you saying, here it is.
Still 0-2. Putz has struck out as many as 104 in a season, which is a huge number when you're talking about a relief pitcher. 104 strikeouts in 78 innings back in 06 for Seattle. Pena goes the other way, and that ball stays up. So a line out to right by Hosmer, a line out to left by Brian Pena, 2 down.
Okay, another fastball out over. Pena, he didn't try to pull it, he went with it. That's the results. He couldn't quite get it to sink in there.
Now Gerard Dyson batting 9th today. He's 1 for 3. A number has really stood out for the Royals on this homestand. In the first 3 games, all losses, the Royals were 5 out of 29 with runners in scoring position. That's a 172 average. And now today, and they're down 2-0 in the 9th, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The one game that they won was last night, and they were 3 out of 7 with runners in scoring position.
You know, you got to get the big hits, but what I'm seeing is guys taking big swings, trying to hit the big home run, get the big hit, instead of just going with the pitch, shortening up your swing a little bit. Put some contact into it. You don't have to have an A home run swing every time.
1-2 on Dyson.
I'd like to play to the situation a little bit. When you overswing, a lot goes wrong. You swing and miss and you pop balls up.
And that ends the series. Arizona takes 2 out of 3. A 3-pitcher shutout this afternoon to beat the Royals 2-0. And Kauffman Stadium continues to be a home away from Arizona, as they have won 7 of their last 8 in Kansas City, and the Diamondbacks are 11-4 at Kauffman Stadium. 2-0 Arizona. We'll be right back.